So, Jesse, let's come back to your question. Any tips for artistic self confidence? And now listen to your words. You always give yourself away with words, and we're going to talk about your words. Dipping low from comparison with more successful folks. There's the big problem right there, Jesse, is that you think that you and I both have the same definition of success. And you think that we should have the same definition of success. And you're looking at other people and you think they're more successful, and you're probably wrong. You're probably wrong. You've heard that phrase, I'm sure you've heard that phrase on social media, where it says that you're comparing your blooper reel to somebody else's highlights, right? That's how we feel on social media, right? Because you see all of your faults, and all you see from other people on social media is their highlight reel, right? So first thing you got to do, and I really mean this. This is going to sound touchy-feely, but I really want you to do this, Jesse. Sometime today, when we get done with this TikTok, I want you to sit down and with a piece of paper, write down what success means to you. Sounds dumb, right? Now think about how you're going to write it. Do you know what you're going to say? Because success might mean making $1 million. Or success might mean just doing one piece of art that's a little bit better than the one you did before, right? And what is realistic for you? Making $1 million next year is not realistic for me, right? Making a 10% more than I made in the year previous is. So what is success for you, and what is success for those other people? I'll give you a great example of what I'm talking about, so it doesn't sound like I'm just kind of blowing sunshine at you. Here's an example, and this happens more often than you think. I'll go to Instagram, where I am failing miserably, okay? I cannot connect on Instagram for whatever reason. And I'll go and look on Instagram, and I've got 2,000 followers. And I'll see somebody that's got 200,000 followers. And what do you say when you see that? You go, oh my gosh, that person's more successful than me. And then I say, well, wait a minute. How are they doing on Patreon? So I click and I see that they're making $100 a month on Patreon. And I know what I'm making on Patreon, and it's much more than $100 a month on Patreon. Now I seem more successful. And I'm like, well, clearly I'm the more successful person, right? And then I go check and find out this person has a book deal maybe. And I maybe call some friends. I don't really call some friends. I know some of this just from being in publishing for so long. I figure out what they're likely to be making through that book deal. And all of a sudden, they're more successful than me again. Okay? The fact of the matter is, number one, I'm never going to know whether I'm more successful than that other person, because there's 110 different ways to define success. And as long as that other person is living a good life and working towards their own personal goal of success, their personal goal, not my goal, their personal goal of success, then they are leading a successful life. And as long as I'm happy with where I am, and as long as I'm moving towards my goal, then I'm living a successful life. So Jesse, my question to you is, what's your definition of success? Okay? And by the way, I totally get it. I'll give you another great example. When I was growing up, I wanted to be John Buscema. He was an artist for Marvel Comics. And this guy could draw like nobody's business. Look him up if you're not familiar. This guy was excellent at drafting. He was excellent at drawing expressively. When he drew a teapot, you could actually imagine steam coming out of it. You know, you could boil a tea bag in a teapot that he had drawn. He was really a great artist. And I thought, I'm going to be successful if I can draw like that. And the fact of the matter is that I still can't draw like that. I can't even come close to drawing like that. But at the same time, I've found what has been very successful for me. And I'm very, very happy with where I am today. In fact, if I could tell the 12-year-old version of me how things were going to turn out, that 12-year-old would be ecstatic. Uh, because but part of that involved me sitting down and deciding what my success, not only financially but also artistically and as a human being, what that success looks like. Now you're looking at your work and you're comparing it to other people. You got your version of John Buscema, right? And you look at their work, and their work is so much better than yours, right? And that's how you feel. Uh, but what you don't know is that I guarantee you, if I look at your work and I compare it, the thing that you did today, and I compare it with a thing that you did at the beginning of the year, unless you have been drawing with your eyes closed, unless you've been drawing blindfolded, you're probably better today than you were at the beginning of the year. And if I compare that to something that you did 2 years ago, I'm going to see a marked improvement. And what that tells you is that if you've got a goal of a certain quality, a certain type of line quality, a certain type of artistic quality, if that's what your goal is, then you're getting there. And if you want to get there faster, you need to make more drawings. If you're drawing, I'm just using drawing as an example because I'm a visual artist. If that's where your passion is, the only way to get there faster is to do more drawings. And comparing yourself to somebody else is well, that's useless, Jesse. It's completely useless. That other person is a completely different assemblages of atoms and molecules that have nothing to do with you, and they might be looking at you and jealous of some other aspect of your life.